morning, students. Today we will start with discussing one of our another chapter from class 6 in civics. That is our chapter number 4, key elements of a democratic government. In this chapter we will study what are the various factors that makes a particular government as democratic government. In our last chapters also, students, we discussed regarding democratic government. Now let us see in this chapter. Student, you can see here South Africa is one of the country and this map is shown here, and regarding South Africa some discussion is mentioned here, so just let's have a look at it. What is said here that earlier what happens in South Africa, earlier in South Africa people used to get discriminated on the basis of different races, on the basis of color. Earlier in South Africa people were discriminated on the basis of color, that is black. Basically, there are two types of people who were residing in South Africa, black people and white people. As black people were not the permanent settlers of South Africa and they were bought from some other place, so what was found that there used to be a discrimination between white people and black people in South Africa. That is discrimination on the basis of race. Now regarding one girl, that is Maya Naidu. One day she was just cleaning her house and she found one of the photo and she asked her mother that who is this particular personality. Then her mother replied that this person is Hector Peterson. Then she said that who is Hector Peterson? Then her mother replied that Hector Peterson was a person who was shot by the police. Then she asked that why she was shot by the police. Then her mother explained that South Africa was earlier governed by apartheid laws. Now what are apartheid laws, students? We can say that apartheid means separation on the basis of race. Apartheid laws means such laws under which we used to separate people, we used to discriminate people on the basis of their color. So earlier this system was there, and whole South Africa was divided into white peoples and black people, and he was one of the people, he was one of the person who fight against this discrimination. This was what explained by her mother. Now you can see here what happened, that lot of discrimination was there between white people and black people who were residing in South Africa. Now what was that discrimination? That discrimination is that you can see here clearly what happened, that South African people were divided into white and black, Indian and colored races, as I already told you, and according to this law that I explained you above, these races were not allowed to mingle with each other. What does that mean? Black people are not allowed to mingle, that is to be in coordination, are not allowed to have the same benefits, to enjoy the same benefits that the white people are enjoying. They were not provided with the same facilities that white people were enjoying. After hearing all this, Maya was very surprised after listening all this, because she is not unable to believe this. Now what happened? Hector and other school students were being forced to leave their language. Hector used to speak different language. Her mother was explaining that he was not only Hector but other persons also who belong to black community. They were forced to leave their language, their culture, and they were beaten badly. They were not allowed to do the protests. That is what they are being discriminated in one or in another way. That thereafter the African National Congress is one of the group who led the struggle against apartheid. This is one of the group. Which group? The African National Congress. They led, you can say, they just protest against apartheid. What is apartheid? Apartheid means discrimination on the basis of races, on the basis of color. And their leader named as Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was leader for this protest. He was protesting, he was fighting for the rights of black people, that they need to be also given with the same rights that the white people are enjoying. Finally, they succeeded in 1994. South Africa became a democratic country. And after, in which year South Africa became democratic country? In 1994. What does that mean? The apartheid system that was existing till now in South Africa, that is the difference between white and black people, got completely abolished after India becoming a democratic country. Now what happens, students? What were the various type of discrimination that people were facing? They were not allowed to vote. Black people were not allowed to vote. They were not allowed to speak the same language that they are using. Their culture is boycotted, and other things are also there. Now what is that? That they are not given equal treatment like white people were given. They are not allowed for schooling. They are not provided with the same education. They are not allowed to follow their own culture or language. If they are traveling in the same bus and any white person is arriving, then at that moment black person need to vacate that position for white person. So these are the sort of discrimination that black people were facing before South Africa became a democratic country. Thereafter, students, our next topic is participation. How people used to participate in the country. We know that how we can participate. In the last chapter also we have studied this thing, that people used to participate through voting. People used to vote and choose their representative, and these representatives are responsible for taking decision on the behalf of people. So election is one of the way through which people used to participate. Other than election, other reasons are also there, or other ways are also there through which people can participate. For example, protest and campaigning. If any particular law got passed and people are not liking that law, then what can they do? How they can participate? They can criticize that particular law. They can go against that law. They can raise their voice. So that is the other way of participating. All governments are elected for a fixed period of time. In India, that particular time being is for 5 years. Once elected, governments can stay in power only for that period. Like if we talk about recent era, then what we can say, BJP is there and that is for 5 years. After 5 years, elections will be conducted again, and whichever party is going to win, that party will be the ruling party. So in this way, what we have discussed, that how people can participate in a particular country, in a democratic country, through the means of elections and through other ways like through protest or campaigns, etc. Thereafter, students, what is said here, elections are usually held in 5 years. I have already told you this thing. What are the other ways of participating, in which I told you that people can express their opinions through different means, like they can express their opinion with the help of protest, with the help of campaigns. And in which type of country it is allowed? In democratic country only it is the right with the people that they can criticize the government, not in any other country. Thereafter, students, like they can go for dharnas, they can do rallies, they can strikes, campaigns. So these are the other ways other than election through which people can participate in a democratic country and can express their views. Other mediums are also there, like newspapers, TV channels and other media. They are also supporting these rallies and dharnas and are expressing the views of the people and trying to present the views of the people to the government, so that government can take accurate steps to do work for the welfare of the people. Thereafter, students can solve the issues of the people and governments can fulfill their responsibility. If a country's people are alert and increasing in how the country is run, then they can actively participate in that government. Now what happen after that? Next topic is need to resolve conflict. What do you mean by conflict? Conflict, you can say the quarrel that is happening between two parties or between the government and its citizens because of various reasons. So there is need to solve this conflict. Now what is that? In the Maya stories that I explained you earlier, what happened? We read that conflict arises between the white people and the black people, which leads to violence and death. I told you na, when Nelson Mandela go ahead with thing, what happened? They were not allowed to do protests, they were killed by the police, they were badly beaten by the police, and they were not given proper treatment or adequate treatment. So what happened? This leads to violence and death because they try to fight for their right because of their protesting. Thereafter, students, what happens? Conflicts occur when people with, now the question is why conflict is arising, why people cannot live with peace and harmony, and the answer is conflicts arises because people belongs to different cultures, different religions, different background, different, you can say, caste, etc. And people may use violent means to settle their differences. If people are protesting peacefully and their voice is not heard, then what will happen? They started expressing their views in violent manners. This leads to fear and tension among other living beings in that area. Obviously, when riots, what will happen? If violent situation is there, it will lead to the situation of riots. And if riot situation is brewing, then what will happen? It will lead to the feeling of tension among all the people who are residing in that particular area. The government is responsible for sorting out all these issues, for sorting out all these conflicts or differences that are arising among the people, so that a peaceful environment can prevail in the whole country. Now let's read about some of the conflicts in our society and the role of the government in resolving them. So key elements of democratic government we will study here. Now what we can say that religious processions and celebrations can sometimes lead to conflict. How? Now let's take an example. For example, the route a procession takes may lead to a conflict. Now see students, what will happen? If I'll give you one example, if I am an Orthodox Hindu, what does that mean? I am completely following Hinduism and I am not supporting other religions like Muslim, Christianism or etc. Then what will happen? If I will start criticizing other religion, in that case what will happen? In that case the situation of conflict can arise. So in that situation it is the role of the government to solve such issues, to solve such conflicts. And that is the only reason you have seen that in a democratic country, we take the example of our country India, Indian government never used to participate, never used to interfere in the religious matter of the country. That is, in India, being a democratic country, all individuals are free to practice any religion. Government from its side cannot force any individual to follow a particular religion. So this is how the government does not interrupt in the religious affairs of the people and prevails the situation of peace and harmony in the country. Thereafter students, what is said here? It is said here that the water stored in regarding Krishna Raja Sagar Dam is discussed here. The water stored in Krishna Raja Sagar Dam in Karnataka is used for irrigation. A number of districts for meeting the needs of the cities of Bangalore. Now what happened? The water stored in Mettur Dam in Tamil Nadu is used for crops grown in delta region of that state. Now what happened? A conflict arises because both dams are on the same river. Both the dams are on same rivers. People who are residing nearby this river wants to use this water. Other people also who are residing on the bank of same river, they also want to use the same water. So in that situation, what happens? Situation of conflict arises between the people. So what will happen? The downstream dam in Tamil Nadu can be only filled up if water is released from the upstream one located in Karnataka. Now this is the situation, you know the location of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu in the map. Now what will happen? The region of Tamil Nadu is below Karnataka. The region of Tamil Nadu can receive water only when it is received from Karnataka. If Karnataka is not doing that, Tamil Nadu is not getting the water. Therefore what happened? And we know this thing that the situation of conflict is arising between both the states, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Therefore, both states can't get as much water as they need for people in their states. This leads to conflict between two states. The center, now what will happen? Now the central government needs to interfere in this matter because both the rivers are located on the bank of the same dam and both wants to fulfill their requirement, their demand for water. But Tamil Nadu can get water only when Karnataka can release it, but there exists the situation of conflict between these states. So the central government need to interfere in between, and the central government has to set up in and see that a fair distribution is worked out for both the states. So what will happen? Central government have given this provision that you can see this is the bank, and regarding Karnataka and Tamil Nadu this reason is explained, and the central government interfere in between, and central government said that both the states are going to get equal distribution of water. The next is equality and justice. What is equality? We have already studied in our starting chapter. It means that all persons should be equal in the eyes of law. No person can be discriminated on the basis of color, caste, gender, race, religion, etc. Thereafter, students, and how this came into existence because of our constitution have provided us this right of equality, and the earlier practice of untouchability which was earlier there. What does that mean? The upper caste people used to dominate the lower caste people, that is banned by the law. What does that mean? Now upper caste people are not allowed to dominate the lower caste people in any way. This group of people were denied education. Earlier what happened? They were not denied education. They were not allowed to fetch the water from the same pond from where the upper caste people were fetching. They were not allowed to visit temples. They were not allowed to read books. So this is what they are feeling. So what is said here? Government recognized, government felt all these needs, and finally the example of democracy came into existence, and government set up this constitution, or government set up this era that all persons are treated equally, that is no person can be discriminated on any behalf, neither on the basis of religion, caste, gender, etc. There should be equal treatment between boys and girls child. Earlier what we used to see, girls child were not allowed to get education. But now as per our constitution, under the concept of equality, girls have also the right to get education for them. All persons belonging to different group have right to vote if they are adult member. All persons have right to protest against the government, to criticize the government. And if people feel, we have already read this thing earlier also, that if people feel that their rights are violated in any of the way, then they have the right to seek for justice. And how they can seek for justice? They can approach the courts and can say that this is a particular problem that they are facing, and that would be resolved by the courts, and court would provide justice to them. Now what we said, the government sets in to promote justice, to providing special provision that can enable girls to overcome injustice that they are subjected to. Now what will you see? The untouchables, especially the Dalits and the girls, who were earlier considered as minor communities, they were given special provisions by the government. Special provisions you can say in the form of reservation. In education institutes, say colleges or schools, particular number of seats are reserved for girls or for Dalits. And nowadays even assembly also, legislative assembly also, fixed number of seats are reserved for women, or you can say Dalit people, so that they won't feel depressed and they can equally participate in the decision making concept of the country. So this is how, student, in this chapter we have studied by taking the example of South Africa, that how people used to get discriminated on the basis of color in South Africa, and how the concept of democracy enables people to express their views freely, how they can express their views freely, how they can participate by electing, by voting, or through other processes like dharnas, strikes, campaigns, etc. So that's it about our chapter, students. I hope you got the concept very well. And now we will discuss the question answer of the chapter. So let's begin, students. So let's begin, student. Our first question is, how would Maya's life be different in South Africa today? I told you earlier people used to get discriminated in South Africa on the basis of color. So how her life is different today in South Africa? Her life is different because of the following reasons. First one is the apartheid law is not there in South Africa today. What does that state? That states that people used to get discriminated on the basis of color. The next is, she would have enjoyed equal rights before the law. She is enjoying equal rights. She is having all the rights that white people are also having. No discrimination on the basis of caste, color, creed, etc. She would have the right to choose and participate in the government. Now she is also given the right to vote. What are the next question is, what are the various ways in which people participate in the process of government? I already told you, people can participate through elections, they can participate through strikes, rallies, dharnas, campaigns, etc. And they used to cast vote. Each vote has its own power. And limiting the power by regular elections. What does that mean? No particular government is permanent. If BJP is ruling right now, that doesn't mean that forever BJP is going to rule in India. No, after every 5-year elections will be there. So there are regular elections. Then next is, people are free to criticize the government, free to express their views, and media, televisions, newspaper, they also played a big role. The next is, keep on track and inform the government works and decisions. Yes, people used to, through their representatives, people used to keep informing the government that what are the various work the government need to perform. The next is, why do you think we need the government to find solution to many disputes or conflicts? This is because it can turn into outrageous and violent movement. If particular problem is there, before it leads to conflict, if the government is solving that problem, then it will not lead to the situation of violence. It will not lead to the situation of riots in the country. To maintain the peace and law in the country, to maintain the trust of the people, to show that the government is working for the welfare of the people. The next question is, what action does the government take to ensure that all people are treated equally? Provisions are mentioned in the constitution. The concept of equality came into existence. All people are provided with the equal rights. There is no discrimination. People can visit to the courts if they are feeling that their rights are violated in any of the way. The next is, read through the chapter and discuss some of the key ideas of democratic government. Make a list. For example, all people are equal. So what are the key elements regarding democratic government that we have read in this chapter? And that are, first, for any democratic country, people have right in the formation of the government, because people choose government only in democratic country. The next is, justice should be provided to all. It should not be like that only upper caste people have the right to enjoy their privileges, or people are discriminated on different bases. No, all are equal. The next is, re-elections concept is there in democratic government. No particular government is for permanent time being. Government should be accountable to its person. Accountable means answerable to its people. If particular destruction is happening, particular conflicts are happening, riots are happening, then government is answerable for that. The next is, transparency system should be there. No discrimination on the basis of caste, color, creed or religion. And people can organize mass movement, rallies, protests, etc. Only in democratic country people have the right to criticize the government, not in any other form of government. So that's it. These all are the key elements of democratic government. Hope you understand the topic well, students. Thank you.